Ken, you mentioned the Article 5
Right.
convention. For those of you who are unaware, Article 5 of the Constitution actually gives us two ways to obtain a constitutional amendment for congressional term limits. The first is it can be proposed by a two-thirds vote in Congress, which I think Congressman Blum referred to as the turkeys voting for Thanksgiving. And the second approach is getting two-thirds of state legislatures to call for term limits on Congress, which would allow the states to effectively bypass the swamp here in Washington, D.C. Senator Paul, what do you think of that approach?
You know, I'm for it. I've had a lot of supporters through the years that were worried about it, and they said, well, what if it comes together, they'll rewrite the Constitution and we'll no longer have a Constitution? And my response is, we haven't had a Constitution in at least 70 years that anybody obeys in any kind of form. You know, the courts pretty much quit obeying a strict construction of the Constitution years and years, decades ago. But what I would say is what would probably happen is we would gather legislature after legislature. When we're this close to having a convention, Congress would wake up and that would be the day that we'd pass term limits. Same way with balanced budget. Congress probably wouldn't let a convention happen. So I've become more in favor of letting it go because we need some kind of push. And I also do believe those who argue for it that you can limit people. You know, there's no reason. So state legislature appoints Ken to go to be, and they tell you you can only vote for a balanced budget amendment or term limits. Ken comes home and says, hey, we rewrote it and we got the French Constitution. The legislature now is going to say, Ken, you're fired, and we don't accept your vote. So there's two bites at the apple on this. And so I've been less frightened of a convention, one, because I don't think we obey the Constitution now anyway, but two, because I think that we need some kind of push forward, and it's never coming from up here.
Right. Congressman O'Rourke, what do you think of that? Would the threat of a potential convention coming from the states light a fire under Congress to act on term limits?
Yeah, I think that because of some of the things that we've talked about right now, about how focused members of Congress are on their reelections and maintaining their purchase on power, that if they were to sense that in their states this has become the driving priority, they're going to act on that to ensure that they are able to stay in power, and maybe that constitutional amendment you know, only applies going forward, and current members are grandfathered. If that were the price to do it, I would gladly sign up, though I am term limited myself. I told my constituents, because I believe in them, I would serve no more than 4 terms in the House, 8 years. I'm in the middle of my 3rd term, and I'm not seeking re-election. Running for the Senate right now, and if elected, I've told my constituents I would serve no more than 2 terms, 12 years, regardless of whether or not other members are held to the same standard. I feel like you got to be able to walk the walk if you're really going to be able to lead on this. So however we get there, and you know, you'd hope that you'd have some public pressure that would drive this here. I think it's important enough that we support it wherever it takes place.